A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News tonight on this 29th day of May 2025. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. Now, before we get into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. Now, in our top stories tonight, Museveni flags off fast milk export to Algeria. Besigye committed to High Court for trial. Court declines release on mandatory bail. Police heighten security at Namugongo, bans vendors near the main street. And Parliament approves loan request as financial year 2024-2025 nears end. Good evening once again. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. We start off with our first headlining story this evening. President Museveni has today flagged off the first consignment of powdered milk to the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, marking a significant milestone for Uganda's agricultural sector. At the inaugural shipment ceremony held at State House in Entebbe, attended by officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, led by Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, and those from Brookside Limited, the President flagged off 4 containers of powdered milk equivalent to 500 metric tons. The consignment is part of the total 2,100 metric tons of high-quality milk powder worth over $8 million that is to be sent to Algeria. This export is a result of bilateral negotiations and a memorandum of understanding signed during President Museveni's visit to Algeria in March 2023, which opened markets for coffee, milk and other products from Uganda. The Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Tumwebaze, congratulated Brookside and dairy sector for the milestone, expressing hope that increased exports will sustain the market for farmers. Now, according to Kennedy Gatheru, the Director of Finance at Brookside Africa Limited, the partnership will open up a large market that the whole country can benefit from. And during an official meeting on the 13th of December 2024 at State Lodge Nakasero, where President Museveni hosted Mr. Ahmed Atta, Algeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Special Envoys of President Abdelmajid Tebboune, he commended the growing cooperation between Uganda and Algeria, expressing his gratitude to his Algerian counterpart for the tangible progress made in implementing bilateral agreements. In the same meeting, Atta informed President Museveni that Algeria's goal is to redirect its annual $700 million milk import budget towards Uganda due to its high-quality fresh milk. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has been hailed for his transformational leadership, which has strengthened Uganda's economy and empowered communities across the country. This was during day 1 of the 2-day Musevanomics event in Kampala, aimed at taking stock of President Museveni's 4 decades at the helm of Uganda's leadership.
Taking stock of the President Museveni's and the NRM government's achievements over the decades has brought together participants from all walks of life for a moment of reflection and dialogue. The 2-day event, dubbed Musevanomics, is focusing on value addition and industrialization and the cost of doing business in the country.
The last 10 years, I have led a mission called OWC. It has not been a very easy mission because we are told to go and look for people who have never touched money. 68%. We struggled with inputs, with coffee, with tea, with all those inputs over that period. And statistically, they say we were able to reduce the people outside the money economy from 68% to about 39%. And recently, I hear even the poverty levels have gone even lower.
Speaker after speaker lauded President Yoweri Museveni for initiating and championing transformative projects that continue to impact Uganda's economic trajectory. Dr. Muhumuza Fred was the keynote speaker and was tasked with unpacking the concept of Musevanomics.
There was economic recovery program. Most people remember 2 zeros were cut off and 30% was taken. But what was the gist? What was the economic policy principle that was being followed in those aspects? You had inflation, you wanted to change the currency, you wanted to raise some revenue as well to support the same people. There was a coffee stabilization tax. We all remember. 1994, many people may not remember that, but because of the spike in the coffee prices, there was an introduction of coffee stabilization, mainly to protect.
In his remarks, the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, Professor Augustus Nuwagaba, emphasized the need for economic independence for sustainable development.
Have you taken an agreement with President Trump that he must look for your sick people? How can you really reason like that? That somebody, another person is going to look for your own sick people? What kind of naivety is that? We must thank President Trump. And me, I supported him even in the first elections. Because he's telling you, he's making you awaken that you must take responsibility of your own actions.
Norbert Mao, the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, emphasized the importance of nationalism and patriotism, especially in navigating the trials and tribulations facing the nation.
I believe that all of us here are true believers in the future potential of Uganda. Whether we achieve everything we are talking about in our lifetime or not, our belief should be the common denominator bringing us together based on what is in our heart: love for our country, love for our fellow human being.
Musevanomics refers to the ideological definition and understanding of a special blend of capitalism, liberalism, and socialism as practiced by the NRM government under the stewardship of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Daniel Mugoya, Dennis Goa, UBC News.
Now, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, has ordered government officials to stop settling refugees on land allegedly belonging to the locals in Isingiro district. The directive comes after the area members of parliament informed her that government officials are settling refugees on land that belongs to the local community, causing tension between refugees and the local community. The Prime Minister was today presiding over the belated Women's Day celebrations in Isingiro district. Take a look.
The women of Isingiro district today celebrated the International Women's Day at the district headquarters, presided over by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja. The Prime Minister commissioned the cooking gas project initiated by the woman member of parliament for Isingiro district, Claire Mugumya.
My honor to declare the Isingiro Clean Cooking Initiative launched. This visionary project encourages an important shift from cooking using firewood and charcoal to cleaner, safer, and more sustainable cooking gas.
The Prime Minister delivered 50 million shillings towards the project from the First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni.
Kusaba Morontinge initiative ya Ndezi Isingiro Clean Cooking Initiative bakatetera agasi bakahona burwire obuli kuleto mwika kandi bakalinda obuhanga batendeza kutetesa enku ndire abantu abuna commissioninga batubere ambassador
During the function, Bukanga County Member of Parliament Nathan Byanyima informed the Prime Minister how the government officials are settling refugees on the land allegedly belonging to the local community, causing tension between refugees and the local community.
Today, basomi mataka gabantu
omwabazi empunju ezo zikwate z'omu motoka zigaruka Kongo tokutufaho barya PS nkamwetaha yeija omabi atugambire he is going to investigate otakora ekintu ekyo prime minister ninyenda babi obatwari obatuye mu kitungo obusinge kitungo obululu bwa president.
The Prime Minister directed that this stops forthwith.
I gave a directive in my capacity as Prime Minister. The only person who can turn my directive is the President, not the PS, not the Commandant. So my directive still stands. But ageza wakatwara empunji mu maka g'abantu. Batageza bakongera sombi because they were taken to people's land. You bring them, put them in people's land. So I'm giving another affirmation and directive that my directive I gave in 2021 still stands. And I will go to Nachivala very soon to tell them that it is not in order for my commandant of refugees to take refugees in people's land. It's out of order.
Thank you.
And we want the refugees and the local communities to coexist.
Absolutely.
The Prime Minister was also informed about the bad condition of the road from Isingiro connecting Rakai to the border with Tanzania.
It is impossible. Let's have an emergency between maintenance Argutoro kuza Tanzania. Isingiro, Kiaza, Rugaga, Zandamu. It's in a bad shape.
The Chief Administrative Officer, go to the office now and write for me requesting for the cost for the rehabilitation of that road. I will use that same letter to put a written directive. I want to direct that that road be worked on. In 2 weeks, they will be there.
Thank you. You are a woman of action. Ndena tukusima tuena hamu. Aboko ntukunda, aboko lyo mukozi.
Toro Kingdom has renewed its call to the central government to fully implement the principles of the 2019 memorandum, which among others committed the return of the kingdom's properties and payment of long-standing areas. The call comes shortly after President Museveni held a closed-door engagement meeting with the King of Toro, Omukamao during his wealth creation visit to the sub-region on 16th May 2025. Right Honorable Calvin Romire Armstrong, who serves as Toro Kingdom's Prime Minister, was among those who attended the meeting. He breaks down what exactly transpired in the closed meeting between President Museveni and Omukamao in an exclusive interview with our reporter Robert Onyango.
The 16th May 2025 meeting between President Kaguta Museveni and King Oyo Nyimba Kawamba Ikulu Rukidi IV, among others, highlighted the fulfillment of the 2019 agreement between the government of Uganda and Toro Kingdom that also stated about the return of confiscated kingdom's properties by the then government of Uganda after the 1966 crisis that led to the 1967 Republican Constitution that abolished monarchies in Uganda and turned Uganda into a Republican state.
Very opportune because the president happened to come around the time when this have to be addressed. We found that we have a lot of unfulfilled pledges, mainly the MOU that was signed between the president and the King of His Royal Majesty, the King of Toro, King Oyo, in 2019, which in brief was, we are going to return kingdom property.
In an exclusive interview with Toro Prime Minister Calvin Romire Armstrong, he sheds more light on what informed the mid-May 2025 countryside meeting.
So we are saying, if we get our property, we'll be in position to do this. Parallel with government. I've requested the president during the visit that we had at the State Lodge to work with us. I know this is a bit controversial, but the truth is, one, we have structures in place. that are very effective.
According to him, this informs the way forward as proposed by President Museveni in the closed meeting.
What has happened over the period is some of this property has had encumbrance and some fraud, illegality. And that's where we need the support from the Attorney General. On Tuesday this week, I'm meeting with my Attorney General, the Kingdom's Attorney General, and the Ministry of Lands and our Land Board to have a clear path. And this is coming at the footprints of the meeting that we had with His Excellency.
Toro Kingdom is among Uganda's oldest kingdoms after Nyoro, Buganda and the defunct Obugabe Bwankole. However, the kingdom has made significant achievements under the reigning Omukama Oyo Kabamba Iguru IV.
That is the guiding point. We are not going to continue the begging basket mentality. What we intend is to get back the property, utilize it well, invest on our land, on our estates.
Leaving other factors constant, the kingdom is equally calling on all the other different local government administrative units still occupying the kingdom's assets to pay the outstanding rent to the kingdom, who is the landlord in this matter.
And these estates partly are in other newly created kingdoms. So for instance, we have the Osinga in Kasese, we have property there. And clearly for political reasons, we would expect to have compensation, not the property. Similarly, we have the same situation in Bundubujo. So we have property there that we expect government to compensate us. So these are two lines. One, compensation, and the other is returning the other property.
However, the demand can only be possible if the central government is willing to surrender the kingdom's property to the kingdom's administration.
The local government is sitting on our property. They are not paying rent, and that is cheating the kingdom, because that money would be used effectively to serve our people in other means.
The closed meeting between President Museveni and Omukama Oyo Kabamba Iguru IV with the administration is perceived as the pain reliever if President Museveni heeds to their demands.
As a kingdom, we have structures in place that, if utilized effectively, we can support government to implement what the president is referring to.
The other issue that came up during the closed meeting with the president is the state of the Kampala-Mubende change of foot road, which the kingdom officials say is a major setback to the development agenda of the kingdom.
Talking about tourists, we are then going to immediately talk about transport. How do they come to our area? The road to Toro is in a bad state. We've lost trade because if you have perishable goods, the time it takes to take our crops from one end to another is not sustainable. We've lost business. People don't want to come to do business with us. We are appealing to government to prioritize the repair of our road.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Nabanja Robina, has assured the public that the government has already released 39 billion shillings to complete the rehabilitation of Mityana Mubende Road. Nabanja revealed this while commissioning the South Division Administration Block and a health centre for the division in Mubende Municipality, Mubende District. We have more.
Nabanja says that President Museveni ordered the Finance Ministry to release 39 billion shillings needed to complete the road rehabilitation of the Mityana Mubende Road, which had stalled due to inadequate funds.
Ekizibu kye twali twafuna nti contractor yali ya withdrawing yanyiga. Naye sente president bwe yava wano n'alagira esente ne bazimuwa bamuwa billion 39 era bangambye nti atandise okugalira ebinnya. He is already on site. Ali mu kutereza byuma ate budde bonna agenda okujja oluguudo oluyolotebwe ate sente twazimuwadde zonna alina okukola okuva wali tusuubira mu myezi ng'ena 5 tujja kuba tutambula nga tutudde.
She further says the NRM government is committed to improve access to facilitate development of the country.
Wenjagalira okubagamba nti amazima omuntu atalaba NRM byakoze akwasa obusungu.
Nabanja first commissioned the health center for Mubende South Division, constructed using locally raised revenue and ordered for its immediate upgrade to a health center free to serve the public and its purpose.
As Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, it is my honor to officially njagala okubasiima olw'eddwaliro eryo. Government eya Uganda ekulembebwa President Museveni yalekeraawo okuzimba amalwaliro ag'eddaala eryokubiri. Buli lwe mwapugradinganga eddwaliro eryo oba libadde ku ddaala lyakubiri, mubuulire gavumenti mangu eteeke byonna mu budget tusobole okubaweereza abasawo be mbadde mwogerako.
The Premier asked the people of Mubende to embrace government programs and increase their household incomes.
Buli muntu abeere ne kyakola ekivaamu ssente. Bw'oba tolina kyokola kivaamu ssente, then ojja kubeera nga buli kaseera wanka.
The leaders from Mubende briefed the Prime Minister on challenges affecting the people of Mubende that include inadequate electricity, water and road infrastructure.
Kwebaza gavumenti eya NRM olw'okutusobozesa okuwa obuweereza abantu bano.
Twagala omutugambire nga bw'oteesezza next financial year eddwaliro lyaffe libeere fully equipped with staff.
Nabanja, while responding to the issues raised, asked the town clerk to make a report and assured them of government intervention. The Prime Minister donated shillings 10 million towards the completion of the South Division Administration Block.
The President of the Republic of Uganda, and on my own behalf, it is my honor to officially commission Mubende Municipality, South Division Administration Block, Mubende Municipality.
UBC News Tonight. Now, the newly elected NRM chairpersons from Busoga region have endorsed the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Annette Among, for the position of the second National Vice Chairman, female. The chairpersons pledged commitment on mobilizing for the Speaker, citing how putting the Speaker in this position will speed up the party's manifesto. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Annette Among, welcomed the gesture and assured the chairpersons on good service. She also clarified on the rumors circulating online that she's fighting her predecessors.
But also I want to talk about something surrounding my candidature. There is a talk around town, around everywhere, saying that I am witch hunting my predecessor. I am not witch hunting my predecessor. I want to state this. I have never stood with the Right Honorable Speaker, Kadaga. The last time I stood for Deputy Speaker, I stood with the Right Honorable Thomas Taebwa. And after the demise of late Jacob Olanya, may his soul rest in peace, I did not stand with anybody. I stood with the Honorable Asuman Basalirwa. So this talk of saying I am witch hunting my predecessor is not correct. And I want to repeat this. The position that I am standing for is a position for the sitting Speaker of Parliament. And the sitting Speaker of Parliament, by God's grace, is none other than Honorable Anita Among. Actually, the Right Honorable, my mother, is the one standing against me. Because that position automatically is supposed to be for the sitting Speaker. And I would really plead to the public that let that talk stop, because that position is supposed to link the party together with the legislature. And the only link that you can have is through a Speaker. And that is that. I also want, first of all, to thank everybody outside there, the whole country. I have seen so many people who are supporting me on this. But at the end of the day, the best will take it. And the best will always be, it will be Anita, and I will take it.
I don't have so many reasons as to why the Right Honorable Triple A should be supported. It is obvious. It is very obvious. As long as you are Speaker of Parliament, you're meant to be in SEC.
Because the most important thing is that the Speaker of Parliament should be a SEC member, because when the Speaker of Parliament is a SEC member, it will be very easy for the party to implement the manifesto that is implemented by government.
And also the communication from the Parliament through the Speaker to the SEC is also almost instant. So I think this is something which was already developed earlier. This NRM is not the first time we are doing it.
The National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, has embarked on a countrywide mass enrollment and renewal exercise for national identity cards. In a move aimed at easing access to services for mobile staff, NIRA officials were stationed at UBC headquarters here in Kampala to facilitate on-site registration, allowing employees to update and acquire their national IDs without disrupting their day-to-day media operations. We have more.
The National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, has kicked off a mass enrollment and renewal exercise for national identity cards. NIRA officials were deployed to the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation UBC headquarters on Nile Avenue in Kampala to capture biometric and personal data of staff.
NIRA is here to help us renew the IDs, and those that didn't have IDs to make sure that they are all authenticated. It's very important because as we get into the need of having the national ID with all the new security features, you know that as we go to elections, we are going to be using only those that have renewed IDs with the security features that have been incorporated.
Given the mobility of UBC employees due to their media operations, the services were brought closer to ensure easy and convenient access.
UBC has a very big number of staff, about 500 staff, so we thought it wise that we work together. But at the same time, UBC also makes sure that informs the citizens across the country that actually this exercise is very important and encourage them to take it to save time and appear to make sure that they renew their national IDs.
To begin the process, one must visit the NIRA website and select mass enrollment. Choose either national ID renewal or first-time registration. You will be prompted to enter your phone number or email address to receive a one-time password OTP. Once the OTP is received, enter it in the designated area. Next, fill in the following details: full names, national ID card expiry date, national identification number NIN, country code, mobile number or email, place of residence. After completing the form, a quick response QR code page will be generated, confirming that the application ID details have been sent to the registered email and phone number. This QR code must be presented to the NIRA official at the enrollment station.
I want to first of all thank NIRA and Uganda Broadcasting Corporation because I came specifically and got assisted here at UBC.
From the newsroom, as we work on the day's stories, just as a reminder, opting for the online registration does not only make it easier for you, the applicant, but as well the NIRA officials as they do data entry into their systems. There is the option of filling a form physically, but it is quite time consuming. I personally registered online and it took me 3 to 4 minutes to complete the process.
I've just renewed my national ID and I invite and called whoever has not yet gone through the exercise to come and renew.
This mass enrollment exercise includes a new component capturing the iris, in addition to fingerprints.
There are cases where somebody say is a person with a disability and does not have hands. So if you are capturing now the fingerprints, somebody has no hands, it becomes a challenge. But now you can take the face, you can take the iris, that's the eye, so that we can properly identify individuals.
NIRA is mandated to establish and maintain a credible, secure and up-to-date register of all persons in Uganda to support national security and socio-economic development. Tony Kent Chaze, Ivan Kahwa, UBC.
It took me 3 to 4 minutes to complete the process.
Thank you, Tony Kent Chaze and Ivan Kahwa. Now, over 3,000 people in Kaliro Sub-County, Liantonde District are expected to receive free medical treatment during a 3-day medical camp organized by the Ministry of Luwero Renzori Triangle as part of the activities leading to the Heroes Day commemoration of the 9th of June. Now, according to Dr. Bitariho Kakuru Klet, the head of the medical team at the camp, there has been a large turnout, with the most common conditions identified being dental issues, high blood pressure and eye problems.
As the country prepares to commemorate the 36th Heroes Day this year, 2025, the Office of the Prime Minister, through the Ministry of Luwero Rwenzori Triangle, has organized a 3-day medical camp in Kaliro Sub-County, Lyantonde District, to provide free healthcare services to the people. The 3-day camp, being held at Lyantonde Technical Institute in Kaliro, is part of the preliminary activities leading up to Heroes Day. People have turned up in large numbers from neighboring villages and districts to get medical checkups and treatments at a free cost. Dr. Clet Kakuru Bitariho, the Ministry of Health, also head of medics at the camp, said that in 2 days they have treated over 1,800 people.
Purposely, this camp is vested in and supported by Luwero Triangle Ministry for the Portfolio and Prime Minister's Office, headed by Honorable Alice Kaboyo, who has supported with resources from her docket to ensure we extend comprehensive medical services to the population in Lyantonde.
Dr. Kakuru shared that the most common diseases disturbing the community include dental issues, high blood pressure, and eye problems.
Honest the events, we have found, of course, non-communicable diseases are on the rise. We have found septic arthritis. We found many people with who are having hypertension, blood pressure, and then diabetes. I have also noted some cases of cancer, the cervical cancer lesions, which are turning out to be indicative of further investigations, and we are referring them appropriately.
Dr. Jude Liazi, an eye specialist, mentioned that they have treated over 100 people with eye conditions, and some even underwent eye surgery.
Challenges with reading, yes, they cannot see well while reading their Bible, reading newspapers, and some also have the common presentations that people come with in old age. They have cataracts, they are not able to see, yes, but the good thing is cataracts are operable. Others also come with a common condition where they have.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the government through the Ministry of Luwero Rwenzori for bringing healthcare services closer to them.
I thank government, most especially President Museveni and Mama Janet, for extending for us medical services in this camp.
President Museveni wa okujanja
Heroes Day is commemorated every year on June 9th. This year, the national celebrations will be held at Lyantonde Technical Institute grounds in Kaliro Sub-County, Lyantonde District. Cayenne Faith, Andrew Sebida, FBC.
Nakawa Chief Magistrates Court has committed retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, Haji Obedi Lutale and Captain Olalo Dennis to the International War Crimes Division's Court for a full trial. Besigye and other co-accused who ordered their legal team to move out of court in protest of the court's ruling of not allowing them to be released on mandatory bail made it hard for court to commit them to High Court, although the prayers were overruled by court.
The accused retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, Haji Obedi Lutale and Captain Olalo Dennis are facing charges of treason and misprision of treason. Before committal, prosecution first made some amendments in the charge sheet by adding more ingredients in the charges. According to the committal papers presented before Chief Magistrate Christine Nantege, prosecution stated that retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye Chifefe, a former senior army officer and a founder member of FDC, allegedly used the international meetings in Geneva, Switzerland and Nairobi, Kenya throughout 2023 and 2024 to coordinate the plan to overthrow the government of Uganda.
The proceedings of the above meetings were recorded using a covert camera. Dr. Besigye and AW had numerous conversations and exchanged numerous social media messages wherein Dr. Besigye discussed with AW details of his intentions and the plot over turn the government of Uganda by.
Court also had that the meeting reportedly involved foreign operatives, including Kadash intelligence agent Alias AW, with whom Besigye discussed military training, sabotage, assassination attempts on President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni via drone strike. Prosecution further alleged that Besigye also solicited and received $5,000 from AW to fund the transportation of 36 Ugandans to Kisumu, Kenya for a military training. Although the group was arrested before that training and later deported to Uganda and charged with terrorism.
You discussed and expressed your intentions to overturn the government of Uganda like force of.
Besigye's father charged of requesting military-grade weapons, including surface-to-air missiles, counterfeit currency, to tamper with the country's economy, and to poison critical military installations, including major barracks across the country.
Gaddafi Military Barracks, Marine Division Luzira, Air Force Academy, Nakasongola Engineering College.
Other evidence to be relied on by the DPP include video and audio recordings, social media chats, immigration logs, and cold data records, among others. The prosecution states that all the plots to overthrow the government of Uganda was recorded and monitored by AW, who was working closely with Ugandan military intelligence, which evidence will be presented to court during trial. It's alleged that the three committed the said offences between the year 2023 and November 2024 at various places and countries, including Geneva in Switzerland, Nairobi in Kenya, and Kampala in Uganda. Before committing them to court, Besigye made it hard for court to read the committal papers in the absence of their legal team, although court overruled their prayers.
But I'd like to ask my lawyers to prioritize what needs to be done to seek our freedom.
Trouble started when the accused ordered their legal team to leave court with the aim of filing an application in High Court challenging the ruling by Magistrate Christine Nantege for not releasing them on a mandatory bail. Besigye and co-accused were further remanded. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
All right, now UBC News Tonight will take a very short break, but we still have more stories lined up for you. Don't move an inch.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
I got to learn about the Powerball through the website www.nationallottery.go.ug. Played Powerball tickets worth 5,000, used an option of Quick Pick, and that's how I was able to be the lucky one to win 35 million. I checked my tickets online and I found out that I had winning numbers. The feeling was incredible and full of excitement. I would advise everyone who is 18 and above that whatever you're seeing here exemplifies reality. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Uganda National Lottery for bringing us this opportunity to win millions.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Are you a woman with a small-scale business with a dream of growing it to another level? The GROW Project is here to support you in realizing your dream.
The GROW Project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
We support women-owned businesses across the country to gain hands-on and business management skills through training within your location, business financing through grants and affordable loans, and infrastructure in your areas of operation to enable you to increase your productivity.
If you have a business that makes sales of up to 800,000 Uganda shillings per month, the GROW Project has the tools and resources to help you succeed. For more information, contact your district or city GROW focal person or call our toll-free line on 0800 307 777 to learn more about how you can benefit from the GROW Project's services.
The GROW Project, empowering women economically, transforming communities.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad you're still with us here in UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. Now, in more news this evening, police in Namugongo have evicted vendors operating along Chaliwajala Street, citing security concerns. Now, according to Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesperson Patrick Onyango, prior engagements had been held with the affected parties, during which they were asked to leave at least a 15-meter clearance from the main road. The overall security presence at both the Catholic and Anglican shrines has been intensified, with restricted entry measures in place to ensure safety.
It had become common for the members of the business community to vend their merchandise along Chaliwajala Street during Matters celebrations, a practice that security authorities say it disrupts the flow of traffic.
We decided that vendors who normally operate along that road, Chaliwajala Road, should operate 15 meters away from the road. And we have put our barricade to show the demarcation where they should start from. And this is purely for security reasons.
Police confirm having engaged with affected parties to reach the resolution.
2 weeks ago, headed by the regional police commander of this area and his DPC, to sensitize them, to talk to them, to explain to them that this time it won't be business as usual. We are not going to allow you to operate in this place. And they have been sensitizing people. So it is not something that has come to them all of a sudden, no.
In coordination with organizers at the Catholic shrines, security agencies have agreed to create additional emergency exits to minimize the risk of stampedes, especially after the celebrations.
When we do a plan, we plan for the worst, including stampede. And that's what some of the reasons we have put across and requested them to do that.
At both shrines, there is heightened security presence, including both personnel and sniffer dogs. Police also intend to strengthen collaboration with other sister security agencies to reduce any potential risks.
We have deployed our officers. It's a joint operation that involves police, SFC, military police, UPDF, intelligence agencies, a whole year, seeing that everything moves on smoothly.
Authorities have provided an update on the ongoing escort of trekking pilgrims, with the territorial commanders implementing the directive issued by the Inspector General of Police.
Traffic, uniformed personnel are supposed to escort them to the nearest border. I can give you an example. If somebody is coming from Kenya, when he reaches at the Malaba point, Malaba crossing point, border point, the police of Tororo take them over.
Members of the surrounding community are encouraged to plan strategically to avoid unnecessary inconveniences. Meanwhile, those with intentions to disrupt the celebrations have been warned, as security forces will not hesitate to take appropriate action. Abdunasir Luwama and Rogers Komagom for UBC.
The Pope Nuncio Emeritus, His Excellency Augustine Kasuja, has officially opened a one-week training on chaplaincy at Uganda Martyrs University main campus at Nkozi in Mpigi district. He cautioned Catholic chaplains across Uganda on the widespread drug abuse, prostitution and mental health.
Youth and take these tendencies to be normal in the long run if not properly guided.
Archbishop Kasuja commended the Uganda Episcopal Conference for designing such a training that aims to address the challenges facing chaplains. This training is an initiative by Uganda Martyrs University to ensure chaplains are trained to get new skills that will improve their service.
Equip you with the skills to help you work with the youth and help them in their lives. Allow me also to express an appreciation to the bishops of the Uganda Episcopal Conference who embraced this idea and supported it so that this course begins here in the Catholic University and now at its second session.
Uganda Martyrs University also announced plans to lobby National Council for Higher Education to register chaplaincy as a course unit at its campus. This training attracted all Catholic and some lay participants from all the 19 Catholic dioceses of Uganda.
Now, the descendants of Chibuka Musigula, who is more known as Mukajanga for his role in the execution of the Uganda martyrs, are to start a foundation in his memory.
As thousands start their journeys to Namugongo ahead of the 2025 Uganda Martyrs Day on 3rd, the descendants of Mukajanga, the chief executor, are planning a foundation in his memory. These descendants have come a long way in convincing the public that hitherto maligned them for Mukajanga, who was acting on Kabaka's orders, and thus a simple royal card. With trust from the public, the descendants are now planning a foundation in memory of Mukajanga at Buyonga, Mwera, where the chief executor is interred.
We are proud of him because we think if he was not Mukajanga's believing, all this excitement at Namugongo we used to see every year wouldn't be there. But of his loyalty to the king, and that's why martyrs were martyred. So we think Mukajanga was a good servant. We think Mukajanga is like Paul in the Bible, who was called Saul during his time when he was the executor during the Roman Empire. And when he believed Jesus, he was baptized Paul.
The foundation aims at the development and promotion of Mukajanga's ancestral ground into a historical and tourist site for both local and international tourism. It will also be used to break the underlying mythical beliefs surrounding Mukajanga, who already has a song in his name to tell his story of shaping Christianity in Uganda. To the family, a saving and credit cooperative society will be instituted, while the public will benefit hostels on their way to Namugongo, and thus a job creation venture. Like Saul in the Bible, who became Paul after repentance, Mukajanga was also later baptized Paul and died in 1900. He was first buried at Chibiri, Busabala, but later transferred to his ancestral burial ground here at Buyonga, Mwera, Kachiri sub-county, Wakiso district.
Heifer International Uganda has launched the 4th edition of the Agri-tech Africa Challenge, a national competition aimed at accelerating youth-led agri-tech innovations across the country. The initiative seeks to identify and support young innovators with scalable solutions that can boost productivity and improve livelihoods for Uganda's smallholder farmers. Now, winners receive tools, training and financial support to bring their ideas to life. The competition was officially launched in Jinja by the Minister of State for Agriculture, Fred Bwino Chakulaga, who encouraged the young innovators to take advantage of the opportunity.
These are the change makers lighting our rural communities and economies and shaping the future of food systems across our nation and the continent at large. With a prize fund of 222 million Uganda shillings, we are sowing a seed not just into the ideas, but into leadership, potential and scalable impact.
Agri-tech is a place of opportunities. When Agri-tech comes in, it opens you to incubation centers where you learn how to build systems and structures in your company, in your team, but also sourcing the team that is right for the job. So we went through a rigorous incubation with the Hive Collab there in Kamocha. And it was a session where I learned and also got new ideas about developing a business, doing entrepreneurship out of my idea of solar-powered tip detector.
This challenge is more than an event. This event is more than an event. It is a deliberate intervention, a pipeline of the youth-led innovation is addressing real challenges in life, real problems facing the ordinary farmer from farm along the value chain up the market. The Agri-tech Africa Challenge aligns perfectly with the Uganda Vision 2040 and our national strategy to transform agriculture from subsistence to commercial agriculture. It is a key driver in our aspiration to become a modern, knowledge-based and inclusive economy.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered the draw to win school fees.
Life in Uganda today comes with so many uncertainties.
Where will Madam get Kameza if I get an accident and can't work? If anything happens to me, what will Junior eat?
Kale Musa is still in the hospital. Guy is missing a lot of money here.
With a monthly payment of only 3,000 shillings off your Equity personal account for Equi Life Insurance, you will be entitled to 50,000 shillings hospital cash per night spent in a registered facility, up to 20 nights every year. And your family will receive 3 million shillings in case of your death. Visit your nearest Equity agent to sign up today or call 0312 327 000 for assistance.
This is a short story about you. No, I don't mean that this is you. No, this is not you. This is me. Of course, this can't be you. This can't be you because you think these things of touring Uganda are for rich people. You think these touring things are for people celebrating anniversaries. This can't be you. Because you think to enjoy wildlife, you have to first put in a leave request at work. Chimpanzees are just a 30-minute boat ride from Entebbe. And you get a chance to feed, name a chimpanzee, or even adopt a chimpanzee. You can even actually use this as a rehearsal to see if you can really provide food for another living thing. God gave us a beautiful country on a budget. We don't have to fly there, we are already here. This is ours, uniquely ours.
Brought to you by
Welcome back from that break, and now into a little bit of business. But before getting to business stories, up next is Boda Commissioner, whereby the Commissioner General of the URA answers your questions about different issues pertaining tax and others. Take a look.
Commissioner. Now, let me just take a moment to explain how, because he asked the other reason, how do you calculate? So he asked, why are there many taxes? Then number two, how do you compute the taxes? If your turnover is between 30 million and 50 million, so your turnover is between 30 million, this is your turnover, but it is less than 50 million. The 80 million, which was the base, remember, on this page, the base, for those who don't keep record, was this 80,000, okay? So now, when we come to this next level of threshold, you will start on that base of 80,000, which was paid by those without records. And on this one, for you, we shall get your turnover, assuming your turnover is 40 million. Okay. We minus the base of 30 million. Okay. And on this, we subject this to a percentage of 0.5. Remember, the lower threshold, the percentage was 0.4. Now the percentage here is 0.5. And again, when you do the calculations here, this is 10 million. Times 5%, 5 over 1,000. We have multiplied 10 here and 10 here. So 3 goes with this. So here you stay with 50,000. Okay? And on this 50,000, we add our 80,000. And out of this, we get 130,000. So presumptive tax is a very fair tax. For the whole year, you pay 130, and you have sorted your tax obligations. And then the next band. The highest band of presumptive tax is for those whose turnover is above 80 million, but below 150 million. And these ones, if you have no records, you pay 900,000. If you have records, you will pay 0.7%, following the same example as I've just illustrated. Boda Commissioner. Now, you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Boda Commissioner.
Welcome back from that. And now into some business news. Government is to put in place boda circles and markets to empower boda riders financially in order to eliminate the increasing crimes in the boda sector. The confirmation was made by Ian Gumikiriza, Principal Communication Officer from the National Secretariat of Patriotism and Coordinator Uganda Motorbike Registration during a consultative meeting with boda leaders across the country.
Government is streamlining a number of wealth creation initiatives for boda riders like markets, circles, among others, to empower boda financially.
The boda loan scheme and the market vendors scheme is already being streamlined, and very soon the beneficiaries will start accessing loans through microfinance support center. The other one is wealth creation. Of course, the one of microfinance support center will be a Boda loan. So the riders will be getting physical motorcycles. But there is also another initiative for wealth creation for those who need some capital to invest in other income generating activities. Because the end goal is to reduce the number of bodas, first of all within CBD. But of course, you cannot ride a motorcycle for the rest of your life. So we hope to empower Boda riders by giving them support.
Registration of Boda riders from village level will also be carried out to prevent a rise in crimes like theft and massacres by bodas in the country.
So if we can be able to separate the genuine commercial operators from criminals, then we will be able to eliminate crime. And that we believe this system will go a long way to solve that challenge.
There is need for government to put in place laws that govern boda leadership in order to eliminate those who disguise themselves as boda riders and reduce self-appointment that bring confusion among them.
And we are testing those who are concerned, because even first law we are looking, the law which governs the boda, the law which governs the boda. If there is a law which governs the boda, please help us to come on the ground. If it needs to go in the field like a gamble or a natural to choose a leader, not somebody to come to say that I'm a Uganda boda Uganda, I'm a national chairman. No.
Winnie Ainembabas Katrire, Antanaba Kenneth for UBC.
And with that, our Fast Edition has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company this evening. But do join us at 10 o'clock for our second edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. I'll see you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Every year, hundreds of thousands of pilgrims throng Namugongo to honor the Uganda Martyrs. This year, the Martyrs' Day theme for Catholics is, "O Lord, let me see again. I, your pilgrim of hope." This theme is derived from the Jubilee year declared by the late Pope Francis and is intended to encourage spiritual renewal and hope among the faithful. Lugazu Diocese is going to lead the animation at Namugongo Catholic Shrine, while the theme for the Anglican Church is imitating God's goodness by doing good. The theme will focus on the Church's role in proclaiming the gospel with boldness, inspired by the unwavering faith of the Uganda Martyrs. The Northern Uganda Regional Cluster, comprising of the Dioceses of Lango, West Nile, Madi West Nile, Kitgum and Nebi, is leading the preparations at the Anglican site. Join us on Tuesday, 3rd June 2025 as we relay to you the celebrations in real time on UBC and Star TV.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Buza Kamiso now, enhancing tax education and bringing it closer to the taxpayers. Many Ugandans have questions about the taxes they pay to URA.
When we come at revenue, they tell us to clear chitenge at 10,000. And when we are selling chitenge, we sell it at 17. So we don't know whether we are working or not.
Understanding your tax obligations can help you grow your business and avoid unnecessary losses. Now, you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
You are watching the Doc Talk Show.